The water ran out 3 days ago. Your tongue is a dead thing in your mouth. Your lips are cracking like dried mud. The sun has been hammering this desert for hours, and there's not a river, a well, or a single cloud for miles. You are dying of thirst in a landscape that seems designed, with malice, to kill you. But here's the twist. There is water all around you, invisible, floating in the air. Every single breath you take contains it. Every gust of wind carries it. The problem isn't that water doesn't exist, it's that you don't know how to catch it. The ancient Persians knew. The Nabataeans, who carved a city from stone, knew. Civilizations that thrived in the driest places on Earth figured this out thousands of years ago. They built dew harvesters, passive systems that pulled drinking water from thin air while they slept. And they didn't need electricity. They didn't need pumps. They didn't need anything you couldn't find in the ruins of a dead world. I'm going to show you how to drink from the sky when there's nothing left to drink. First, you have to understand why dew exists at all. During the day, the sun heats everything, the sand, the rocks, the air itself. And that hot air holds moisture, even here. When night falls and the temperature plummets, something magical happens. The air can't hold as much water anymore. It has to release it. It condenses. It forms droplets on any surface that is cooler than the air around it. That is dew. It's not rain. It's not a spring. It's physics handing you a glass of water if you just know how to hold out your hand. The problem is most surfaces are terrible at this. They warm up too fast in the morning. The droplets evaporate before you can use them. What you need is a surface that gets colder than everything around it, colder than the air, colder than the ground, a surface that stays cold long enough to collect a serious amount of moisture. This is where the ancients were geniuses. The Persians built structures called yakchals, massive domed ice houses that could store ice in the middle of a desert summer. The principle they used is called radiative cooling. At night, a surface exposed to a clear sky doesn't just cool down, it loses its heat by radiating it directly into space. And space is cold, absolute zero cold. If you point a surface at it with no clouds in the way, that surface will drop below the ambient air temperature. The Nabataeans of Petra, they took this even further. They lived in one of the most water-scarce regions on the planet, yet they built an empire. How? They harvested every drop of water that existed, including dew. Archaeologists have found low stone walls and carefully angled rock surfaces they built, designed to cool rapidly at night and channel the morning dew into collection basins. They didn't wait for rain, they harvested the atmosphere itself. Now let's talk about how you can do the same thing. The simplest dew trap is just a sheet of material stretched over a hole in the ground. You want something that radiates heat well. Metal works, plastic works, canvas works. The trick is to angle it so the dew rolls downward into a container instead of just sitting there until sunrise. So you dig a shallow pit, maybe 2 feet deep, 3 feet wide, place a container at the center, a bottle, a bowl, anything that holds water. Now stretch your collection surface over the pit and secure the edges with rocks. Create a slight dip in the center so it sags downward toward the container. As the night goes on, that surface radiates its heat into the sky, its temperature dropping below the dew point. Water will condense on the underside, roll toward the center, and drip, drip, drip into your container. During the day, this setup is called a solar still, distilling moisture from the ground. But at night, without the sun, it becomes a dew trap, and you can collect a surprising amount of water. Don't expect gallons, expect a cup, maybe 2 per trap per night in decent conditions. That isn't luxury, that's survival. And survival adds up, night after night. The material you use matters. A car hood from a junkyard is perfect. The metal cools fast, and the factory paint is often formulated to shed heat. If you're stuck with plastic, a dark sheet radiates heat well, but you have to be careful. It will also absorb sunlight and heat up fast in the morning. That means you set it up after sunset and you collect your water before the first rays of dawn can steal it back. But the ancients got even cleverer. They didn't just use flat surfaces, they built structures. The Afghan ice makers used massive mud brick walls oriented to shade their collection pools during the day. At night, those walls would radiate heat while blocking warm winds. The pools would cool so much that water would freeze. They made ice in the desert without refrigeration. You can apply the same principle. Build a simple wind barrier on the warm side of your collector. That small change prevents warm air from heating your surface. The temperature drops further. More dew forms. Location is everything. You need to be in an open area with a clear, unobstructed view of the sky. Trees block radiative cooling. Buildings block it. A cloudy night kills it entirely. You need a direct line of sight to the cold vacuum of space. And stay away from heat sources. No engines, no fires. Anything radiating warmth will reduce your yield. Now let's scale this up. One trap gives you a cup of water. That keeps you alive, but it's not living. If you want reliable water, you need more surfaces. Think bigger. Window screen material stretched on a frame will collect dew on every single strand. Angle it towards a makeshift gutter. That gutter feeds a pipe. The pipe feeds a storage tank. You've just built a passive water collection system that works every clear night. And what about timing? Dew forms most heavily in the hours right before dawn. That's when the temperature hits its lowest point. Your collection surfaces have been radiating heat all night. The temperature difference is at its absolute maximum. If you're collecting dew manually, and this works incredibly well, this is when you do it. Take a cloth and wipe the dew off car hoods, metal roofs, even large leaves. Wring the cloth into your container. Repeat. The Bedouin practiced this for centuries, spreading out blankets at night and collecting the dew in the morning. They understood something fundamental. The desert isn't truly dry. It's just holding its water in places you can't see. The science is simple. The atmosphere always contains water vapor. Even the Sahara Desert has humidity. That moisture is just waiting to condense if you can give it a surface cold enough to trigger the change. Radiative cooling can drop a surface 10, even 15 degrees Celsius below the ambient air temperature. That's almost always enough to hit the dew point. The key is maximizing that cooling effect while minimizing heat gain from the ground, from the wind, and from the sun. Remember, ground contact is your enemy. Heat conducts upward. Elevate your collector. Create an air gap. Insulate it. And wind is complicated. A gentle breeze can help by bringing fresh, humid air over your surface, but a strong wind will just heat it up. You need a balance, a light wind break, but not a complete seal. The bottom line is this: water is everywhere. The ancients knew it. They built civilizations in places that should have been inhabitable because they engineered systems to capture moisture that most people don't even know exists. So when everything fails, when the taps run dry, you have two choices. You can walk until you find a river and compete with every other desperate survivor for the same shrinking resource. Or you can look up at the clear night sky, feel the cold radiating into the vastness of space, and build a trap that catches water from the air itself. The desert doesn't have to kill you. The physics is on your side. You just have to know how to use it. Now you do. Build your dew harvester. Survive the thirst. And when someone asks where you're getting your water, just point at the empty sky and smile.